to D-Lab. This is my newest line of amps called the Toyo Twins. Twins because there's two and there's probably not going to be any more. These are custom little boutique amps made in Japanese stereo equipment cabinets from the 1970s. Okay, so I already posted the video of the tuner being built into an amplifier, and now I'm going to show you this decoder unit also being built as an amplifier. They're both 6K6 Class A amps, around 2 to 3 watts. I have these featured on my website. Okay, so if you gotta have one, go to D-Lab Electronics and the information is there of how to contact me. So let me show you this build, and at the end we'll have a live demo. Well, as long as I have the newest Toyo hooked up to the scope, I might as well show you the output. So I'm calling this one the Toyo D for decoder. This one on the website is referenced as Toyo A, okay, because it has the analog dial. Controls, this is your volume, and this is your tone, input, power switch, and this one has a neon lamp. So check out, look at that. Super nice breakup at low volume. So you could use this as a recording amp and get some of that cool grind without driving your neighbors nuts. So the newest item on the bench here at D-Lab for repurposing is a Toyo model QC1 audio decoder module from the 1970s. Let's open it up and see what's inside, and I'm going to show you how we can convert this into a cool Class A guitar amp. Alright, let me pull this out of here. Now this is a little bit different from the tuner that I did, because this top actually lifts off. This doesn't pull out like a drawer. There's the internals. A lot of circus boards, all made back in Japan. Pretty cool old stuff, but unfortunately it doesn't work and there's no purpose for it. So now its new purpose will be a Class A amp. So my first thought was, how can I reuse this chassis for the amp? Well, unfortunately the bottom is flat, so it'd be really difficult to try to build a tube amp circuit on this. Wiring would be a nightmare, so I have elected to go ahead and build a whole new chassis. Okay, so there it is. It's going to have volume and tone. There's my input jack. So I bent this aluminum, I put some middle supports, and it's going to go right in here, just like the old one did. Fits right up against the front plate. There'll be a couple retaining screws, 12AX7, 6K6. So let me give you a little closer view of the chassis. As I stated, I hand bent this chassis with the supports, so now I have 1.5 inches of space under the plate. So all of the wired electronics will easily go underside. I won't have to put anything on the top side. Okay, so we got our power transformer. It's going to sit there. I have another of those Japanese output transformers. Very cool. He'll sit here, and that is a 4 and 8 ohm output. This would be where my 6K6 octal socket is going to sit, and of course the 9-pin 12AX7 will go up here. On the back side, this will be my AC input, speaker out, and then we'll have the selector switch for 4 or 8 ohm. I added this rear bracket, so I'm going to have to drill another hole here, and that will hold the chassis down on the back. And on the front, there's 2 screw holes. You can see them down there. And there will be screws that pass through the front into here to pull the chassis up against the face. Should be pretty secure. Alright, so let's review the newest Toyo 6K6 Class A build, this time in an old decoder cabinet. Okay, So I've got it pretty much complete. I have not connected the neon lamp yet. That's because I want to be able to pull this out of the cabinet and show you the build. So first we'll look at a top side and then we'll go bottom side. Alright, first top side, power switch hanging loose there. There's the back of the neon lamp. 6K6 output tube, 12AX7 preamp. We have a Hammond 269BX power transformer and that old Japanese output transformer. Got my supports there around the back side. Speaker output. This will be 8 and 4 ohm switch for the speaker. I need to get that labeled. Alright, let's look underneath. Okay, we'll get her out of the cabinet. Here is the bottom side of the amp build. You can see she's pretty tight, but it really came together well. There is my speaker output jack and the switch that selects the tap on the output transformer. Fuse, of course, AC line cord coming in, ground lug there. I have a little terminal board here to allow for the cabling to go up and back from the power switch, and there's also a neutral chaser so we can power that neon lamp. All right. There's my filter caps. Of course, the board there with the diodes for rectification, my screen resistor, my preamp resistor, followed by another 22 microfarad cap. Bottom of the octal socket for the 6K6. Got our preamp section over here, the 12AX7. Some Sprague coupling caps, input jack. Got our volume here and tone over there. Really came together slick. And yeah, I built this on an old piece of aluminum that used to be the front panel of an ICO signal generator. I went to a Hamfest years ago. Guy had a pile of these front panels, and I thought, what better material to build on? It's nice thick aluminum, vintage, and it really worked well for the 6K6 build. So what a really cool point-to-point wired amp built in vintage cabinets utilizing vintage components. You're going to see these amps and many more on dlabelectronics.com. Go check out the site. On to the demo.
Hello, here's a little another 3-watt practice amp, 6K6 amp,
Yep.
Class A. Another little, it's like a micro champ, kind of a one-trick pony. Doesn't sound too bad though. Got a nice warm round tone.